How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Black Stump Outback Special. Like 5 days ago we left Brisbane, had no idea we were coming out here, and now I'm stuck on the side of Big Red. So follow along the series and see how we ended up here. It should be a good one. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Black Stump Outback Special. Over the next 8 days we're going to be heading out to some of the most remote national parks in Queensland. We've got my BT50, Ryan and his BT50, and then Darcy in his little Jimny, which we've already joked is probably the most far west Jimny in all of Queensland. But yeah, come along for the ride. It's going to be a pretty sick series, and yeah, it should be a few episodes worth checking out. We set off early from Brisbane on the first morning, with no plan in mind other than to make it as far west as possible. After a little over 700 kilometres, we found a spot just before Augathella on the side of the highway to roll out the swags and set in for a freezing cold outback night under the stars. It's going to be primo tonight. Top open. Name from the bar. They called it with the judges. Day 2 on the road today. Last night we camped just outside of Augathella. This morning Darcy's already filled up twice, me and Ryan have filled up once. We come in a bit of a habit that Darcy has to fill up twice as often as us, sometimes 3 times as often, because Jimny's only got a 40 litre tank and it's a petrol, so it's hardly made for the big kilometres of the outback. But today we're doing about 350 k's up to Idalia National Park, just outside of Blackall, where we're going to stay the night. So yeah, it should be a good drive and do a bit of exploring out there later today. On the way through Blackall, we made a quick visit to the Black Stump, a survey point that represents the symbolic start of the Queensland outback and also is the inspiration behind the name of the channel. After one final stop to save Ryan's swag from falling off the roof of the Jimny and have a much needed stretch on the road, we said goodbye to the blacktop at last and turned off towards Idalia National Park.
Hey guys.
Yeah, go.
Hey guys, we're at Idalia National Park tonight, which means we can't get firewood in there. So just pulled up just before the park and we'll get some firewood for the night and keep us warm. So get the dog.
Grandpa said, son, real men don't hold guns. They're humble with grace and they shield their loved ones.
Stay there. Oh, come on, you're moving. Whoa! The landscape here is sort of like nothing I've ever seen before. looking around. Almost feels like what I imagine Africa would be like. So I'm just waiting for a zebra or something to pop out from behind the grass and driving along.
We're just getting a bit of nachos going for afternoon tea. So, yeah. Give you.
So this morning I woke up, it was freezing cold. Oh shit, there's a bit of a hole here. I walked out of the swag, the sun wasn't up yet, and I hopped in the car straight away to drive. I put on the window washer, try and get some dust off the windscreen, and the second the water hit the windshield it just instantly froze to ice and I couldn't see, so I was driving out the window for like 20 k's with my head out so I could see, but made it to this pretty awesome lookout as the sun's coming up over the mountains, and yeah, it was definitely worth it.
I cannot remember anything you say when the streets are talking, yeah, they call my name.
After a quick coffee on the cliff, I went back to camp to wake up the boys and get on the road for the day. Today we're heading a couple of 100 kilometres west to Welford National Park and through the town of Uraka for a pretty vital fuel stop.
Fucking crazy.
Bit of a view from the toilets. Oh, it's been too long, toilet. Yes.
Surely that can't split.
Alright, so we just got to Uraka, a pretty important fuel stop on our journey because we're going from Idalia National Park to Welford at the other end. And we had marked on our trip that like we need to get fuel here. The HEMA said there was fuel here, the internet said there was fuel here. We got there and there is a servo, funny old looking servo, and then we pulled up to get fuel and dude walks across the street and tells us that he won't sell you fuel, he's a bit of a weird guy, and don't know what that means still, but basically we're not getting fuel. So I'm going to get the HEMA app out now and chart exactly how far we have to go, because I reckon me and Ryan's car will probably make it, but Darcy is obviously the main concern. He's got a 40 litre tank and he uses more fuel than both of our cars. So yeah, got to plan out the route, but yeah, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, this is a stiff dog. Oh, fuck. Duct tape split again. Leaky dog.
Losing it all. Not losing that. Do you want more duct tape?
Couldn't hurt.
Oh, yeah, definitely just lost 50 mil there. Not losing any.
No.
So I've mapped it out. We have 107 k's to camp tonight, and then another 90 k's from where we're camping to the next town where we'll be able to get fuel. Jim has 40 litres of fuel left in both jerry cans. We already just put one in the car, so it should be enough to make it, but once we get to the national park we're just going to have to park the Jimny up and not drive it anywhere, or else it probably won't be able to make it to town and everything will get way more complicated. But currently things are looking good, it's fine, we'll just have to drive a little bit slower and not have Jim sitting at 5,000 RPM doing 115. So we've made it to Welford National Park for the night. Darcy has not run out of fuel yet, so that is a success. We're here for the night. We're about to go on a 50-kilometre drive through the desert section of the park. That should be awesome, but this wraps it up for the first episode. You'll have to wait for next week to see that. We're going through at sunset. We're going to climb some sand dunes, see what else we can find, and then onwards to Hellhole Gorge National Park in the next coming days. So our trip's not over yet. Plenty more interesting stuff to come, so stay tuned and thanks for watching. Next time on the Black Stump Outback Special. Our fuel troubles continue as we coast our way into the next town before getting distracted by a sign that said Birdsville was only 400 kilometres away and driving through a pretty sketchy night to get there.